First came the shadows, then the sky filled with ships. Thousands of alien warships surrounded Earth, and humanity realized the war had begun.
The stars align for our dominion. The outer sectors report, my Emperor.
Alien signatures confirmed. They're advancing. How long on to intercept? Not enough. We need the override now.
Across the galaxy, an emperor watched Earth like it was nothing. To him, humans were weak, and conquering their world would take only minutes. But while the alien fleet prepared to conquer Earth, one human was studying their systems, and he had just discovered something impossible, a way to control the entire fleet. Then suddenly, the impossible happened. Alien ships began firing on each other. Explosions filled Earth's orbit, and the greatest fleet in the galaxy fell into chaos. For thousands of years, one empire ruled the galaxy, the Cartesian Empire. Their fleets stretched across hundreds of star systems. Their technology was centuries ahead of most civilizations. Entire planets paid tribute to them, and any species that dared to resist quickly disappeared from history. Their power was absolute, and because of that power, they believed they were unstoppable. Inside the enormous throne chamber of their capital world, the alien emperor sat on a throne made from the metal of conquered warships. Around him stood commanders, generals, and advisors from across the empire. A hologram of the galaxy floated above the floor. Hundreds of systems glowed red. Those are the worlds already under Cartesian control. But one small blue that remained untouched. Earth. The emperor leaned forward and studied it. Explain again, he said calmly. One of the generals stepped forward. This planet is called Earth. The species is known as humans. Another officer added with a small laugh, primitive creatures. They only recently developed space travel. Several members of the council chuckled. Are they dangerous? The emperor asked. No, the general replied immediately. They fight among themselves. Their technology is centuries behind ours. So why are they not already part of our empire? The general hesitated. They are unpredictable. The room fell quiet for a moment. Then someone laughed loudly. Unpredictable? That is the best reason you have. The emperor waved his hand. Enough. Prepare an invasion fleet. The decision was made in seconds. To the Cartesian Empire, conquering Earth was not a war. It was simply another task. A minor operation. A small blue planet about to learn its place. Thousands of light years away, the invasion was just another routine operation. Inside the grand palace of the Cartesian Empire, the emperor calmly watched a holographic map of the galaxy. Hundreds of conquered star systems glowed under his control. Entire civilizations had already fallen before his fleets. And now, another small planet was about to join them. Earth. The emperor studied the blue world with mild curiosity. This is the species called humans? One of his generals nodded. Primitive, emotional, divided. The room filled with quiet laughter. To the Cartesian Empire, humanity was nothing more than a minor inconvenience. A young species that had barely stepped into space. The emperor waved his hand dismissively. Then conquer them. But none of them realized that decision would become the greatest mistake in their empire's history. Ethan Voss was not a soldier. He wasn't a politician. He was a systems engineer. For years, he had studied strange signals from deep space. Signals that many scientists believed were random. But Ethan knew they weren't random. They were alien communication codes. When the invasion fleet arrived, Ethan recognized those codes instantly. And more importantly, he understood them. Inside the underground command center, military leaders surrounded him. You're saying you can hack alien warships? One officer asked. Ethan nodded. They all run on the same command network. That network has a weakness. The room went silent. If we access their control system, Ethan continued, we could control their fleet. A general frowned. You want to control thousands of alien warships? Yes, that's impossible. Ethan smiled slightly. Exactly what they think about us. The operation began quietly. A small stealth satellite launched into orbit. Inside it, Ethan's program. The moment it connected to the alien network, Everything changed. At first, nothing happened. Then suddenly, one alien cruiser fired at another. The commanders panicked. What is happening? Their systems were no longer responding. Ships turned against each other. Entire formations collapsed. Explosions filled Earth's orbit. Within minutes, the massive alien fleet descended into chaos. And then something even more shocking happened. One ship stopped attacking. The largest ship, the flagship. Its weapons turned outward and aimed at the rest of the fleet. Ethan had done the impossible. He had taken control. Back on the Cartesian capital world, the Emperor watched in disbelief. His entire fleet collapsing. Ships exploding one after another. "Ow," he whispered. A terrified officer answered. "Sir, a human has taken control of the fleet." Silence filled the throne room. One human. The Emperor slowly stood up. For the first time in centuries, he felt fear. Above Earth, the battle was over. The remaining alien ships shut down. They were no longer an invasion fleet. They were now under human command. Ethan Voss looked out across space. Thousands of alien warships waited for his orders. Humanity had not just survived. They had gained control of the most powerful fleet in the galaxy. And far away, alien empires received a warning. Humanity was no longer weak. Humanity had taken control. The alien fleet had already surrounded Earth. Thousands of enormous warships floated silently above the planet, their glowing engines lighting the dark clouds beneath them. For hours, nothing happened. No attack, no movement, just silence. And that silence was more terrifying than any weapon. Across the world, people waited nervously. Military commanders prepared defenses. Scientists tried desperately to understand the alien technology surrounding the planet. Then suddenly, every screen on Earth went black. Phones stopped working. Television broadcasts cut out. Even satellites lost control. For a moment, the entire planet went silent. Then the sky above every major city began to glow. A massive hologram appeared high above the clouds. It was an alien, tall, pale, and completely emotionless. Behind him stood the bridge of an enormous warship. This was the commander of the invasion fleet. His voice echoed across the entire world. "Humans of Earth." His words were translated instantly into every language on the planet. "You are now surrounded by the Cartesian Empire." People gathered in streets and watched the giant hologram in fear. "Your civilization is young. Your technology is primitive. Your resistance is meaningless." Across the globe, millions of people stared silently at the alien commander. He continued speaking calmly. "But the Empire is merciful. If you surrender your planet now, your species may survive." The alien paused. Then his tone became colder. "If you refuse, your world will be erased." Cities fell silent. Even the military commanders, watching the message, felt the weight of that threat. The alien fleet above Earth had enough firepower to destroy the entire planet. And everyone knew it. For several long seconds, the alien commander waited. But Earth gave no answer. No surrender message. No signal of defeat. Nothing. The alien commander frowned slightly. Then he spoke again. "Very well. You have 1 hour to decide." The hologram vanished. Across the planet, fear spread quickly. People looked at the sky, wondering if humanity had already lost. But deep beneath the mountains, inside a secret command center, one man smiled slightly. Ethan Voss had just finished analyzing the alien transmission. And while the alien empire believed they controlled the situation, Ethan had just discovered something they never expected. The entire alien fleet was connected to one network. And if he was right, within the next hour, the greatest invasion fleet in the galaxy would no longer belong to the aliens. It would belong to humanity.